To the show finally getting underway. I do apologize about being late. It's a interesting time at ESL. We are switching and changing a couple of the studios, so you can tell I am back in the older one. I'm chilling out with you guys at home this time, and yeah, all is good. I hope. It's kind of a little bit of duct tape here, a little bit of bodging there, but we're going to get there in the end today. We're going to have a great games for you today anyway. So that aside, apologies put to bed. Let's get towards what we're really here for, and it's the second half of the Cup number 2 in the Battlefield ESL Summer Season. Now, that basically means we get both semi-finals and a grand final, which is pretty damn awesome. And obviously, I need a co-host because I can't be trusted on my own, as we found out. And Dogbert, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
And that's the important factor. But anyway, guys, let's take you through what we saw yesterday a little bit. It's going to be pretty brief because I think the teams are almost ready. So at the moment, the first game we're going to be watching will be Fnatic against Gamers Connexion up in the top. Gamers Connexion picking up a surprising couple of results, but nothing too shocking considering how well they performed in the previous Cup. So certainly a new contender amongst it. And then down the bottom, Infamous up against PKD. So a couple of the surprise results more around the quarterfinals. The semi-finals are looking a little like we'd expect, but Infamous beating Epsilon was certainly something to turn some heads.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really good game as well. And especially when we did see Epsilon going ahead quite decisively at one point. But yeah, it just fell apart for them. And, I was quite happy to see a bit of a change-up and not the standard Epsilon getting to the final and then playing against Fnatic.
Indeed. So we are going to jump into game any second now. Hopefully, Dogbert, you are on the server waiting with me. It's obviously not brand new studio, but it's a newer setup. I haven't been able to test absolutely everything, so if there are issues, if the sound's off, if the quality's not as good, please let me know on Twitter, @TheyCallMePansy to myself, and I'll try and fix it as soon as I can. But until then, I'll drop us into game so we can kind of see what's going down. Hopefully the audio is okay. If not, once again, tweet me @TheyCallMePansy and I can try and get it fixed for you guys. Until then, we'll have to kind of just see where the chips fall. It's one of these days where things just kind of happen. And I'm hoping that they don't go too badly, but we've all had those days, Dogbert, and there's no being mean to me about it today. It's been a struggle, is all I'm saying.
It happens to the best of us. There's no way around it sometimes.
Okay, so let's actually start the action off pretty damn soon because we are now ready into, we are ready for the first game here, which will be obviously Fnatic up against Gamers Connexion. It's going to be a great game either way you look at it, but Locker is always a hard map, especially against teams like Fnatic. They've always been very strong on this, and certainly a team to be worried about. I think they're just auto-balanced up. Not sure if they feel like they want to play with these lineups. Jason has now joined Fnatic. Both Jasons. Is there really 2 Jasons on their lineup?
They thought they were going to be really clever and throw Jason off during his cast, but little did they know that he wouldn't be here today. And all that was for nothing.
Scumbags. See, this is what they get when they try and be smart. It doesn't go down well. There you go, guys. But still, I don't think I'm. I don't think I can even cast the name Jason. It hurts me deep down.
I know, right?
No one needs that in life. It's just deeply upsetting. But we can talk a little bit. Obviously, this will need to be restarted again. Just so you guys at home know, it's not going to be going live with the switch ups going down. But yeah, what can we talk about Gamers Connexion really? You saw a little bit of them in the first Cup, or at least you kind of followed their winning path, should I say, a little. What can we expect from them here? Is this a map? Is this a situation where they could pull through and kind of challenge maybe even further to the grand finals, or is Fnatic their stopping point now?
Well, I definitely think Gamers Connexion can threaten any team here. I mean, they have beaten Fnatic in the past. It was in the May monthly Go4 finals, and they did beat them there, and that was a pretty decisive 2-0 victory. But that, it was only one map, but it was on Parasol Storm, which is a map we've seen Fnatic do remarkably well on in the past. They have lost recently to Fnatic, but they were close games. And one of them literally was down to 1 ticket. So, Fnatic are always going to be solid, always going to be dangerous, always going to be the favourites. But, GC have really stepped it up recently, and they're vying with Epsilon to be like the second best team in BF4 right now.
But we need to now obviously look at Fnatic. Reigning champions, big team, big players, certainly looking better with the changes that happened in between the 2 seasons previously. Obviously, Winghaven stepping back a little. Looking strong now. Is this a team that can be now consistent? Because Fnatic, they seemed at a point to get to some sort of consistency, and then they kind of lose a little bit of it. They kind of fade away at times. You know, they may do well in a couple of cups, but then Epsilon, you know, somehow knock them down. But is this now a more well-rounded Fnatic we're going to see here?
Yeah, I would say so. You're going to see a bit more trust in their lineup. They know that when they pull together, they are almost unstoppable. And I think it's going to be that, knowing when to stop putting in the hardcore practice and knowing when to step back a bit and recuperate.
So if you're just tuning in and you aren't too familiar with how this one works, while the map obviously loads up, we'll jump back in as soon as it does. You can see the rules right beside me there. That's pretty much the format we use. It is domination. It's, you know, 5 players per team, best of 3 here. And they're going to be trying to build up those points going into the group stages. If they place within the top X amount, yet to be confirmed, I'm not sure. But if they place there with enough tickets gained by getting through to the further stages in the weekly tournaments, that's how they get themselves towards the offline finals. But anyway, enough of that. Let's have a little look into games. I think they are now ready. They've not shuffled teams. On the Russian side, it will be Fnatic. So let me switch and lovely little overlay in that sort of fashion. Gamers Connection, the French side, will be on the US team. And, well, what sort of exchange are we going to be seeing from the very start here? Because it looks like only one player is actually up at the moment for... There we go. They all spawned in for Games Connection. I was a little worried. But what sort of start are we going to see here from these two?
Usually you see a push out to C because, especially for GC, they will start off with that C capture straight away. You can send one guy out there, and you see they're more worried about pressure on B, and that's a 4-man. That's a very defensive posture for GC, expecting Fnatic to come forward.
Well, Drunk's already picking up the first. He's going to put Zaya in trouble there. He's going to be a little bit careful. And as you said, very much defensive. At the moment, C being battled over in a 1v1. Let's keep on board with Mort here. One of the very important factors to the Fnatic side. Seeing him just trying to take his time. Respawns have come through, so probably not the best time to challenge it out, but we are seeing the fact that Fnatic are beginning to apply pressure elsewhere on the map. Zaya's been pushed back further. Drunk's dropping up the nade, trying to work his way through mid, but at present, it is Gamers Connection with those 2 flags. B is finally being challenged out, but, you know, what options now lay for the Gamers Connection side? Is it time to hit up A? But the thing I want to note is they're not really in a massive rush. They seem to take their time quite happily. They're not playing the fastest game I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I really don't know why, especially when they overcommitted to that C flag when there was only one guy on the hill, and they didn't rotate quickly to A. They kind of just slow pushed, and that's given Fnatic plenty of time to read where they are and get people in the defensive positions at A. I really don't like this in Game Connection. You cannot give Fnatic an inch.
No, and, well, they're giving them a mile right now, and you can see it's starting to be reflected in the tickets. Fnatic's not really budging too much. You're seeing the fact that Games Connection are wanting to start pushing towards A, but exchanges are not going to get you in here. So 3 players from Fnatic happily just locking this one down. You can see them there. Finally, the push beginning from Zai. He gets the tag towards Mort, but Frag not following. There we go. Finally takes Valu down, actually, and that's weakened a little bit of the A defense, but immediately the respawns are there, and this slow push is going nowhere, in complete honesty. Unfixed and too easy, claiming this one. Only Jason alive for Games Connection, and hell, he's been picked up by Drunk. So this is going back to the drawing board now. And let's bear in mind, Fnatic aren't really pushing out towards C here. They seem as though they're happy to try and just catch them on those back random spawns coming in.
Yeah, they were keeping the spawns tied down. And Unfixed here, you know, he was my man of the tournament at the offline final, and he's stepping it up again. You called him on the feed there. You were looking at the kill feed. He got 2-on-1 on that B. He was defending it by himself, got 2 kills on the guys coming from the tunnel, and not only that, he's also pinning players out of C. Eventually goes down, but man, he's done the amount of work you're going to need to with one player, and that is basically frustrated GC so bad.
Yeah, and I'm sitting on board with Drunk, because he's actually running without any sort of sight. He's always got the standard iron sights there, but he's actually not got anything on it. Really weird kind of weapon to look at without that on top, but still, C is the main focal point at the moment, denying what could have been a triple cap there for Gamers Connection. Maybe the slow approach has finally kicked into place, but let's bear in mind, 98 tickets to 127, and they're still not walking out with a clean victory. I don't like their playstyle at the moment. Yes, they got the numbers out on C right now, but Mort's doing the job. He's picked up one. Finally goes down to that mid push coming in, but the reinforcements are slowly but surely arriving. But right now it's a 1v2 here on this outward C site, and well, Zaya's found Unfixed, and that is a very open C for the taking. That's being claimed. One man being pushed around is Valu, running with that AEK, looking to maybe cause some damage, but it's not a gun that we see doing great work at long range, which is where he's trying to utilize it. But it will be down to a 1v2. Respawns come in. A will be slightly challenged over by GC, but Valu takes down one. Nade comes out, not going to find its place, but still, at the moment, Gamers Connection have the advantage, but I still don't feel comfortable in their gameplay.
No, it is a back and forth game, and it is starting to level up a little, but Fnatic did get a bit of an edge at the beginning, and that slow play from GC, you know, it took a long time to get this bleed back, and I still don't feel particularly comfortable with this CB hold, but they seem to be running with it anyway. They're waiting for someone to push out of A so they can sneak a flag capture there. They desperately want this AC hold if they can get it.
Yeah, you can see the two players there focusing down towards it, Polar being one, Zaya being the other. And run with the ACWR, actually. Interesting weapon choice for Zaya there. We are seeing a little bit more variation in the stock weaponry we're now seeing coming to the forefront, but at the moment it's not doing too well. He has been picked up by Valu, allowing Valu to push out and be a little more aggressive, and you don't want to give Valu a chance like that. He's going to find Polar and now look maybe back towards B, get himself right in the face of the opponent. And this is what I like about Valu. He's a smart player, but this time he'll be caught when he got a little too aggressive down by B, but he has forced the back spawn for Fnatic. But in the meantime, C has been won over, and A's looking a little vulnerable, but Jason could be met with some real force here, but he does find the kill towards Mort. Good work from him. But now Unfixed taking his time, playing smart. He knows his team was in trouble. Him and Valu, the last two standing, gets the kill towards Jason, but immediate fire comes through from Zaya. And well, we are seeing this going both ways. And this is the triple cap for Gamers Connection. The slow approach seems to work. This is, I don't know what to say about these guys. They play a very unorthodox style, it seems.
Yeah, they're kind of playing in a way like Fnatic, but maybe not without the success on the camps at the beginning, but the way they are playing, except from the beginning, is very similar. I mean, they do have a patient pushing style, but the problem is every so often a player will step up for Fnatic, and I haven't really been seeing that so much for Gamers Connection so far.
No, but more on his own now. Let's see if he can do the job. Valu waited on the respawn. He didn't want the revive. He's now in towards A. Smart choices being made, overwhelming this, but now the one-man 1v1 going down towards that B site is possibly going to come down to denying a triple cap. Fnatic are struggling here, and they're down on tickets. Can you believe it? This has turned completely around now. We have seen the fact that Drunks did find Zaya, so that is B looking a little more open. But it seemed to put Fnatic off pace. It's rare we see a team playing the Fnatic style almost and getting away with it. But it seems to be working at the moment. Let's find out if they can kind of keep this up. Nading in towards this A site. It looks like Valu and Unfixed pushing in down the main way. We've got too easy down the side, and he's going to try and clear this down. He knows it's going to be a player here. Picks up the kill easily there towards Flu. Flu and Dizzy GG, but at the moment, Fnatic, it swings and roundabouts. As soon as Gamers Connection get their hands on all three, you see Fnatic coming back with almost a triple cap. It's very, very polarizing between these two.
Yeah, definitely. But this is the danger. This is really dangerous for GC because this AC hold is the best, and Fnatic right now are set up to defend this perfectly. And they have had some great successes in the past with the AC. So I really want to see what GC can do to break this. And I would like to say it's pressure on C, but we know how often that spawn at B is a fawn in any push towards C.
Yeah, but that was a little bit of sloppy play from Drunks there, maybe trying to push out to make sure A is not being immediately challenged. But at present, it is just Unfixed there, trying to do some damage, and he certainly can do, but at the moment, it looks like C's severely under pressure, as you mentioned. 51 to 46 tickets. This is getting rather close, I've got to say it, but at the moment, Fnatic really putting bodies towards this side just to try and keep it in hand, and now two players swarming in from Gamers Connection, trying to make a bit of a stand now. Reinforcements on the way for Fnatic, coming around the backside, but Jason's found one. He's found two. Brilliant play with that ACWR, taking down Too Easy, taking down Drunks, and more soon to follow. This could really upset things. This overwhelming play by Gamers Connection could throw them off, but Valu's round the back by B. He might be able to save the day here and scrape together a 1-2 cap in favor to Fnatic.
Yeah, also the captures outside of C took far too long for GC. No reason for that to have taken so long. They should have been rotating quicker. And there you go. The bleed is going to be against it again. And the sole guy up gets taken down. And they're relying on spawns out in the cold there. And, you know, they might have just wasted their last chance there.
They may have done. Fnatic not really a team to fumble under pressure like this. They always seem to keep their heads fairly together. Nades, however, are coming through, going to make it a little bit harder, but as you said, this is going to be the last and final push. It looks as though it's coming from C towards A. We've got a bit of a 2-to-1 split coming out. Too easy. Actually sitting on his load, Nades not going to help. A is vulnerable now, and Jason is just going to push in for this one, but reinforcements arriving, and now GG well played going around the side. He's going to get taken down by Too Easy, and that is A firmly secured. Random respawns for Fnatic coming in at the perfect time as well. Should at least allow them to kind of get some pressure down towards B, but they are letting it being kind of captured over. Were they waiting on the push out from the A site then?
I'm not sure what they're waiting for. And Unpicked, there you go, clearing up one of the guys capturing the B flag and just holding it as long as possible. They have a ticket advantage here. They have the spawns at hand, and Fnatic are slowing this game down, and that's exactly what they need when they have such a lead.
Yeah, A and C in both teams' favour pretty much. You know, one holding one for an extended period, the other doing exactly the same back to them, but B being heftily fought over. The amount of respawns coming into this and making the tickets look a little low here. And Games Connection looking the lower of the two, down to only 15 tickets. It looks as though they are struggling. They did finally get their hands on A, and they might have done this at the right time as well, at the last couple of seconds. As now we see Zaya applying quite aggressive pressure down by B. Jason doing the same on the west side. Brilliant work with that Ace 23 in hand. Gonna go for the second, and he's gonna get it. Big play from Jason, then down towards that B side. And that is the wipe they're waiting on. This should even up the ticket, surely, and this could cost Fnatic this half.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I was quite surprised they were able to pull that off, but that's... when you have such a firefight going on at B, and everyone's throwing 5 men into it, spawns can happen anywhere, and it happened in GC's favour for sure.
Yeah, 8 tickets now left. I think Fnatic know this might be over, but they're going to make a last down towards A. Grenades coming out, Drunks picking up a couple of kills, and let's see if this is going to make any difference. 5 tickets now remain. They can't really afford many respawns. Smart play from Value, though. Going to get himself out towards C in case that A push went as badly as it did. But can they turn this with only 2 players standing? Mort now has to withhold against pretty much the entirety of the opponents. They're all coming towards him. He's gone down, and I think that is all she wrote. But then again, 9 ticket advantage. 8 now. It's not a massive amount, even on the half here. We are going to see Value making a final stand. B is not being fully capped over. It has now 8 tickets. Very close game, closer than I imagined, but Fnatic looking a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, and it was a shaky start for GC, and one which I wasn't too sure where they were going to go from there, and they really did step it up. And you know, I was quite surprised. Some risky plays, but it paid off in the end. And Fnatic did look a bit confused, if anything.
Yeah.
They weren't too sure where to go and if they wanted to engage in some of those fights. And they kind of tried to do both, kind of hold back and go forward. And it was a bit messy for them. But still, only 8 tickets.
Yeah, not the end of the world, but certainly going to have to try and step their game up a bit here, because we rarely see any team, you know, other than Epsilon, let's say, who already went out a little early on to Infamous, doing this well, especially on this map against Fnatic. Always been a little bit of a strength of theirs. Certainly been a little bit of a tough one for anyone to challenge on. So at the moment, seeing the likes of Gamers Connection being able to do this instantly is fairly impressive, I've got to say it. So guys at home, let me know your thoughts towards the game so far. Who do you think will be in the finals? We have obviously Infamous down below. We can go through the second game, which will be PKD up against Infamous. Not the matchup I expected. And obviously we are currently in Gamers Connection against Fnatic. Who will be in the finals between those 4 teams? Do get on Twitter and let me know your thoughts towards that, 'cause I think we're just about ready to get underway in the second half here. And at the moment, it will be Fnatic on the US side, and the Russian side will be Gamers Connection. Your predictions on this one? Who's going to walk away with the win at the end?
I still feel Fnatic were looking very strong. They had a bit of a shaky mid and end there, but still they managed to bring it down to only 8 tickets. So really the first round doesn't matter so much. And, you know, they were coming across with some amazing kills. I can never remember what it's called. Is it parkour, where people just jump around off stuff?
Parkour, yeah.
Yeah, outside of C, Too Easy basically ran up a ramp, jumped behind, killed 2 people, and basically saved that C flag. And I was just like, wow, okay. He meant some business in that game.
Okay, so we've got a 4-to-1 split coming out from Gamers Connection, trying to lock down mid straight away. Both players there just trying to control a little bit, not too aggressive, but Valu and Co doing the same. It's kind of a little bit of a standoff at the start these days, and Valu comes around, picks up one, spots out another, takes some cover, and now he's fully aware of where this push is going down to, but there we have it. The turnaround kill comes in for Dizzy there. GG well played, picking it up and possibly getting B to boot. Who's had the better start here overall?
I would say Fnatic, but it all comes down to a few of these kills here, because it could all go disastrously wrong. You know what spawns are like in Battlefield, but Fnatic know where the pressure is, and they have 4 people in to defend it, so this is looking really good for Fnatic.
Definitely is. B and C being held, probably not the ideal start they'd want, or at least the ideal setup. Maybe that BC hold, or sorry, A C hold being a little bit more favorable, but you know, I guess they'll take what they can at this point when they had that even just a slight deficit on the first half. So hopefully they can keep this one going. At the moment, the 1v1 will be coming down on C. That'll be between Dizzy, GG well played, and one of the Fnatic members unfixed. But we are seeing the 4-man squad heading out towards the B side because, well, they're going to have to try and deny this triple cap somehow, because at the moment, smart play from Too Easy, getting himself out towards A to pick up that A flag on his lonesome and even bring back Dizzy GG well played towards maybe a more passive position to wait for the squad to spawn in. And he's been spotted out. This is looking very good for Fnatic. It looks like they mean business here in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. They've gone for everything they needed to. They got the triple cap and they're holding it here. And more importantly, every place but GCR, there is someone there to counter them, except from A. And there you go. They've got a breakout over at C, and they're going to capture over A. This is their chance to claw back. But look how many tickets they're behind right now. Yeah,
it's a big difference from the start we saw earlier on. Very even game to begin with. This one quite strongly in favour to Fnatic, but as you said, finally that 2-1 hold in favour to Gamers Connection, the French side, well, on the Russian side at the moment, but still, oh, nice work from Too Easy, catching Zyra on the cross, trying to go for a sneaky B pickup, but it has allowed Fnatic now to push in towards the A flag, capture that one over, leaving B fairly vulnerable, and that's going to have to be a swift retraction from Too Easy. Needs to get back to defend or send something out towards C, because, well, they're not going to have an advantage at this rate, they're going to lose out, and look at these spawns coming through. Jason in a nice position, even Zyra able to sport through mid. He's surely going to get a couple of kills with Bacchus. No, he gets shut down in the end. That's disastrous. And now allowing the push out towards C. But then again, Dizzy, GG well played, has got time to get to this sort of spot, defend it from afar, but B has been brute forced by Fnatic in the meantime, and they should be able to at least maintain a 2-1 for now.
Yeah, but those horns are coming in, so they're shut down so quickly by Palutaja. That's the thing about that B flag. It is so regular that you can kind of predict it. And with that, Fnatic are very comfortable with this AP. You know, the problem with the AB hold is the fact that you've got to tie quite a few people down at B just to make sure that the spawns alone don't take the flag away from you, which obviously means A is kind of lightly defended. But you know, they're reading GC so well right now.
They definitely are. So Drunk's eventually going down. He was holding as long as he could by the back of B. But this has put Fnatic in a bit of a tricky situation. Let's bear in mind, this could be a triple cap off the back. They're going to lose out on B no matter what. Maybe depend on a random respawn towards the back here. But they need to at least pick up A. And look how well played these guys just pull off these kind of slowing down 1v3 situations, allowing Jason to pick up that A flag. We have a triple cap against Fnatic. And that is a big, big factor in this game with the tickets so close on the first half. You need to be getting this in the bag. Fnatic, however, finding their way through, but it's certainly not clean as now GG well played, come back around here. Fizzy picks up, oh my word, he's actually done a bit of a double kill there. Picks up 2, claims down A, and sends Fnatic packing. They're going to maintain this triple cap, and Fnatic are looking a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, it just Drunks up, and all the spawns just came on top of Drunks, and that means everyone knows where they are. And eventually Mort gets that one kill, but he gets taken down straight away. And there's the danger of being spawning on the last remaining guy, especially when he's been spotted out, because you know exactly where they all are, and reinforcements will come in from behind.
Well, at the moment, let's bear in mind, the champions of the prior season, that wasn't that long ago, are now struggling against a team who who didn't make it there. So certainly a little bit of a questionable performance so far from Fnatic, especially in the later points here. But they have seemed to kind of correct what was going a little wrong for them earlier on. We are seeing a back away from C, maybe trying to reinforce across this central line, make sure they're funneling Fnatic through to the easier points, and it's paying off right now. Jason swings around, picks up the kill. Nice work from him. He's on 13-6 as well. Individual performances certainly breaking out from the Gamers Connection side here.
Yeah, definitely. They did step up completely there. And But here you go, Fnatic with the spawn near B, so they have a chance to get that capture. They do have C here, so if they turn this over, the bleed will go back on. But man, this game has just leveled up completely. And it's very surprising, especially the way it was starting out.
Yeah, it looked a little one-sided, but as you said, tickets now even. An 8-ticket advantage to Games Connection on the half. Not a great deal. But yeah, it seems very... I don't know, Fnatic seem to be going for all or nothings. It's like Dignitas style has now become the biggest trend because they almost had a triple cap then. They've given it up. They're battling out on B, but now A's going to come down to a 1v1. Who's your money on? Too Easy or GG Well Played? Both have been playing well to this point.
Well, I'm always going to go with Too Easy simply because I trained them back in BF2. But yeah, Fnatic are doing a great job here. You know, they know what they're after. They know that capture at C was never going to last for very long. They capture it and then leave it. They don't try and hold on to it. They know what they're playing for here, and they keep going back to this A-B. Unorthodox, but it's working well for them.
Well, Mort now has to hold on against a massive amount of players from Gamers Connection working their way in. They've kind of toyed with the idea of going B, but they're taking their time. They're utilizing this kind of structure within that B building kind of side of it, and it's kind of paying off. But then again, Value with that AEK close range weapon that can just rip players to shreds is coming into its own, which is the biggest problem, denying them easier access than maybe they had hoped for. A and B are staying in the hands of Fnatic for now, and they are definitely making this one hard. But then again, Value now has to weigh up the options. Does he now push out towards C and hope he can win the 1v1 as they might lose out on that B site?
Well, you can already see the GC here are going for trip caps. They're just rushing through, trying to get some kills and trying to make some opportunities. And Mort gets taken down here, and he does. And that is going to be an almost a trip cap. There you go. C gets captured back over by Fnatic, but it's not the flag they want. And they know, GC know that pressure is probably going to hit onto A very soon.
Well, Unfixed picking up the first kill there with that Ace-23 in hand, taking down Jason. The top player so far for Gaming Connection is probably going to give away a little of the game. And Fnatic taking their time though. Let's bear in mind they do have the slight disadvantage of tickets. They can't mess around too much, but they're going to try and work this one together. But then again, GG Well Played takes down Drunks. We are seeing the slower push in from the side. Definitely not paying out as quickly as maybe Fnatic had hoped. So now Fnatic struggling to make their impact. It's going to be Unfixed forcing GG Well Played out of position, maybe trying to allow Too Easy a little bit of room to breathe here. He's going to take down one in mid during that zigzag area, but comes back around towards those metal detectors, gets the tag, not the frag, finally follows up towards Zaya, but this is taking his time, Dog, but it's not a fast push coming out from Fnatic here. And A's completely open, but no one's there to push it.
Yeah, because Fnatic are pushing very slow. They expect it to be defended, and rightly so. GC, for no reason at all, left that A flag and came out looking for kills. And if Fnatic had moved quicker, it would have bit them in the ass. And it still could here because it really looks more like Fnatic are defending A than GC are holding it. But look at that capture at C, sorry. That's going to be huge.
Yeah, at the moment, smart play coming out from Zaya there, get himself out towards that side. This could be a triple cap bearing in mind because Fnatic once again are not really penetrating these sites at all. They are struggling to make it through the doorways. And there you have it. It's going to be a triple cap for a second at least, as finally B will get pressured. But look how close these tickets are. Let's bear in mind, if Fnatic, the side on the US team, actually drop below 8 tickets, they already lose out on the first map. Big push now coming in. They have B. Value picking up the kill during Zigzag will alleviate some of the pressure, but Too Easy's timing is atrocious. Switching up to that nade, but finally the push beginning. Value goes down though, and Mort is tied up in mid. He can't push out towards C. This could be all over Fnatic here.
Yeah, definitely. More importantly, you got to remember it's 8 tickets they just got to be dropped behind, and that's getting very, very close right now. And there you go. GC are going to go for a trip cap here, and Fnatic are collapsing.
Fnatic are falling by the wayside. This could be the first map going in favor to the French side. 8 tickets now remain. It's almost over. 7 tickets. That's the cutoff point. Fnatic fumble the very end of that first map. Unbelievable after the start they had as well. This is not what I expected to see.
No, not at all. And there you go. They lose the first time they've lost a map in this season. And, GC really taking it to them. And you could see the frustration out of the Fnatic guys. A lot of typing in game there. They were getting very frustrated by GC.
Too Easy getting vocal, really?
Oh, yeah. It never happens. So,
no, he's a calm guy, chilled out,
Well, like I said, when I say I used to teach him, what I mean is I used to trash talk just as much. So, it's a Battlefield tradition. He's keeping it alive. But, that was GC's map. and
True.
a map that really does favor their kind of style. I feel they like their aggressive infantry.
But then again, that's the way I look at it is the fact the Games Connection play a very similar style to Fnatic. So how on earth were they able to pull it off after such a decisive, beginning from Fnatic on that second half? What actually broke the back of Fnatic there?
I think when you're dealing with a team like Fnatic, they know what they want a lot of the time, and sometimes that can swing very heavily on just like a handful of kills. That's battlefield domination at the end. It's like, what went wrong? Well, they died too much, and the other team managed to get the flag capture. That is pretty much it.
One way of putting it.
So yeah, sometimes you can put it down to like good spawns and good reads on your opponent, and Fnatic were doing really good at that. They were positioning really well to block a lot of the pushes, but sometimes it just got really messy, and GC came out on top. And GC, more importantly, played very risky. They were willing to send 2 people or 3 people to try and hold a 4-man, 5-man Fnatic team back, while sending people to undefended flags. And at the end of the day, that's what won them the game. It's those risky plays. Well,
risky plays paying off, even if I can use my words. It's always difficult.
Also, Fnatic on Locker, a map that originally everyone used to think is a safe map, has fast become
one of their worst almost.
Yeah, they have lost a significant amount of games on Locker. And Locker itself is a scary map for every team when it starts to go wrong. You just ask MYM. But it is one of those maps where if the communication breaks down, everyone knows where they want to go, but if they don't do it in coordination with the rest of the team, it's for nothing. And I think that's kind of what happened at the end there for Fnatic.
Well, we'll see if they can kind of turn this around on the second map. Our thoughts towards Dawnbreaker for Fnatic. Is this a map they could challenge? Because does that playstyle that sat very well with Games Connection apply here as well?
Well, that patient style, if they try and copy out like how Fnatic play this, then I'll be very interested to see how this works out for them. I look back in their history recently. There was one round where Game of Connection won by 1 ticket, but then they lost the next round by 80. So, I mean, that says that Fnatic probably have the better communication and rotations on this map. But we'll have to wait and see. Everyone knows this map like the back of their hand, so you would kind of feel that if Fnatic are going to pick it, they'll probably feel more comfortable than GC. Maybe they feel GC won't be able to keep up with them.
True.
And, we'll have to wait and see. GC finally getting the last guy in. And we have been seeing a lot of interesting breaks on this one recently.
Take me through some of the setups as well that we've been seeing kind of coming to the forefront a little.
Yeah, especially on the, I think it is the Chinese side, the boost up and into B. Usually, the Chinese side should not be able to get into that B site at all without being completely naded through the connector. But we seen yesterday with Infamous being able to get through to B unmolested and being able to shut down anyone from the US side, being able to get into B, and that should be an easy capture for them. So I'll be interested to see if Fnatic go for that, because originally Fnatic used to just ignore going for B early, going out towards A, getting that capture, and then slow pushing B. And you know what? It worked every time. Almost every time I watched it, it would work. But obviously, they had to bring out a few extra tricks and new ones. They can't be too predictable. So they do start to go for heavy building pushes towards C. This is obviously the Chinese side. And, honestly, it seems that every time Fnatic do something different, especially at the beginning, it seems to work. Where it goes from there, not always so sure, but their starts seem to always be picture perfect.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that comes into place. And, Wafi, I'm expecting you to predict this one, buddy. Who's going to win this? Because at the moment, the Frenchies are doing well. So, need to step up your game. But yeah, as we said, curious to see which side people are starting on. I'm not too sure, actually, so we'll have to wait and see when this does get restart. I think we're going live right now. I kind of hope we are. But obviously, you guys out there, if you are enjoying the content, do make sure to get on Twitter right now and tweet through to myself at They Call Me Pansy and at Dignitas Dogbert with your predictions. I want to know who you guys think will be walking away with this one. Fnatic are already down a map. They got beaten on one of their previously best maps. And now they're going on to one that at least they chose. So here's hoping, eh? But still, let me know your thoughts. Get on Twitter as we do get ready to jump in game. I do believe we are on the right side. Let's check. No, the admin seems happy enough, so we'll roll with it. So, on the US side, it will be Fnatic with Drunks, Too Easy, Mort, Unfixed, and Valutaja. Probably going to go for a unique beginning. As you said, one of the best teams to do so. Polar, Jason, Dizzy, GG, well played. Zaya, and the other Jason for Gamers Connection. Currently one map up to the good.
Jason.
All the Jason and all the boosting. Jason there actually failing the boost. Wow. That is atrocious. And that's going to give a perfect start to Fnatic here. This is absolutely ideal for them. This is the start they wanted, just, well, gifted on a plate. So already, Too Easy claims a little bit of a tag there with Mort taking down one of the Jasons. And as you can see, well, Gamers Connection don't get to walk away with too much.
Yeah, and instantly Fnatic are on the hunt today as well, just trying to get the kill there. They get it as well. This is the worst start you could ever get for GC. Shut down, even with the boost and extra players over at C, completely cut down. And this is not looking good.
No, but Jason looks to try and turn that around. He's taken down Valu. The rest of his team are doing the work, but in the meantime, Unfixed finding two as well. It's a fairly even spread, but let's take stock of what we're seeing at the moment, bearing in mind that normally, you know, Gamers Connection are very in your face. They're a great team, quite aggressive, but, you know, in the right amount. At the moment, they're stuck on A, which is not that bad, but then you look at the ticket difference with 1 minute and 4 seconds gone. This is unbelievable stuff. Fnatic not even playing out of their skins, in complete honesty. It's because of that pretty much dire start from Gamers Connection. So the situation they're in is pretty much of their own doing. You can see they're just funneling themselves into towards that B flag and getting really nowhere for it. And I've got to say it, this is going to be tough to dig themselves out of.
Yeah, really, really bad. And Fnatic have just been so good on Dawnbreaker recently. And you know, there's a big spawn around the back, instantly shut down by Mort, and the pain is going to continue. As this is that was basically a full wipe. Jason does spawn in, but that's after everyone had died, and this might even be a trip cap.
Well, Jason's doing his best to hold on, but as you said, it's going to be a harsh one to get back into. They might walk away with A, but that's about it, and it's allowed Fnatic the time to get into a little bit more of an aggressive stance, get quite, you know, up in their faces as much as they want, or maybe a better position. Look at Too Easy, straight up there, not messing around at all, gets the tag, gets the frank. That's Zaya down. He's got a little bit of fire coming in on the cross, going to back away a little and play it perfectly. That is the bonus of being the team in the lead. You can start to really control that pace. Comes back around, looks for more with that Ace 23 to hand, going with the Ergo and muzzle break there, so trying a little bit more close range. So he might struggle there if he's not got the angle grip in use. So we're going to see Too Easy now watching the push up, far better suited. Unfixed finding Zaya again. These guys are not making the impact they want on B. They're trying to negate Too Easy's presence using this sort of side. Zaya trying to be smart about it all, but it doesn't matter. Valu was there, and you can see this guy's just kill after kill doing the damage. But finally, we might see a little bit of a luckier situation coming out for the Gamers Connection boys. As you can see, Jason did make to the side, but the crossfire ripping him to shreds, and the spawning might be a big mistake. Too Easy's looking hungry. He's going to get the double, and hell, he's going to leave the triple there to Drunks, but still, it's a massive, massive lead forming for Fnatic.
Yeah, and there's always someone pushing up forward. It doesn't matter who it is. No one's got a set role. It's whoever's closest, and that's really just to keep tabs on the Gamers Connection. Make sure they know where they are, and make sure they know where they're spawning in. Even though Unfixed died on that push there, he got the valuable intelligence of knowing that they're all spawning over
Too
at
Easy.
A.
He was doing exactly what you were saying, pushing up aggressively because he can, and then just getting the kills on the push. But then again, Fnatic might have been bullied out of B finally.
Yeah, but look at the ticket difference already. I mean, eventually something's got to give. They can't hold on to B forever. But they've done the damage now, and they know that they can do it again. And it's GC, you have to play absolutely recklessly now, and I feel that they're going to make a lot of mistakes that Fnatic can capitalize, just like that one there, where they just retake B with a complete and utter 5-man wipe.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliantly done, and they may lose out on C, though. Let's bear in mind that random respawn will come back in towards the bottom of the road, but when we're seeing snipers in play with Jason, is this game over already, or is this something they legitimately want to try out?
Who's playing sniper? Really? Sniping does not work in Battlefield 4. I mean,
this isn't Call of Duty, buddy.
Yeah, I don't see what he's going to achieve with it. I mean, we've seen it every so often on Dawnbreaker just to get rid of people up in the upper balcony. And you know, you can get kills with it. But it's just not what you want.
Wow.
And more importantly, you can't heal people.
Yeah, and he
so
can't
fast.
even do it with the Magnum to hand, so absolutely fluffing it, leaving Fnatic to do what they want. Too easy, ready, and waiting for any push towards the backside there. He finally realized there were players here, but he might want to go and challenge A, even with the 130 ticket lead to 44. You know, you might want to start getting involved. So nades out, pushes in. He's going to get a little bit of trouble from Jason, though, pushing back out. The sniper has been dropped, unsurprisingly. But on C, Valu doing what he does best. It seems as though it's his new role. He's happy playing this kind of position to get himself back and pick up the sites that may be left slightly unattended. More pushing forwards, buying time to get the rest of his side set up towards that B side. Let's see if it's going to pay off, because Drunks is now doing what Too Easy was doing just seconds ago. Getting right in their faces. Oh, Drunks. Big work. Triple kill coming in for Drunks. Perfectly done, leaving only Polar alive for Gamers Connection, and surely this is over.
Yeah, I really do not see what GC can do here. Whatever they are going to plan, they need to do it soon, and more importantly, they need to just shave off as many tickets as they can just for the next round, because otherwise it's going to be straight onto our third map.
Well, I've got to say, as much as I think the Gamers Connection side are very talented, as we saw on that previous map, you know, picking up Locker against the likes of Fnatic is nothing to be sneered at. But then again, things didn't go well from the offset for them here, and I felt as though they've kind of choked. I feel this is a third map game. When you're over 100 tickets on the, you know, on a map that's not yours, you're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, most definitely, and this is just brutal to watch. Finally, they make a bit of pressure onto C, but yeah, the music's already playing. I think this one's done.
Yeah, 10 tickets left. Let's stick on board with the guys trying to pick this side up, and only Flu and Dizzy, GG well played, is the one sitting positive. The rest have struggled throughout this game. Another kill coming in. It's really quite dire times. If Fnatic end with over 100 ticket lead, which I feel as though they probably will, I think this map is pretty much done for. There's very little you can do when it comes down to those situations. We are seeing A being bullied over, but Fnatic, just to add insult to injury, end this one off with that triple cap on the first half, 114 tickets. Is there any coming back from that?
I would say no. I mean, that was a brutal loss, completely and utterly dominated from start to finish, and you know, with that boost as well. Oh my God! I mean, could anything else have gone wrong? It seemed to have gone all Fnatic's way, and you know, once again, Unfix pulling in a really good score there.
Well, no surprise.
Yeah, but he had a lot of people to shoot at, so
it's very true.
Yeah, pretty easy for them.
Yeah. Gamers Connection, what on earth just happened? It feels like I've just watched two very different teams from, you know, one map to the other. Don't get me wrong, Fnatic always been, you know, fairly competent on this map. Certainly one of their own. But Gamers Connection, if I'm not mistaken, actually chose this dog, but
this is Fnatic's map.
it's Fnatic's map, okay. Yeah. So that's one kind of silver lining to it, but I'm not sure if it's a big enough silver lining to cover off the 114 ticket deficit the Gamers Connection now will have going into the second half. I'm hoping to see something good, but I think we can all agree this is probably going to be a third map. I'm not sure what the third map is, but is this just a display that even though Gamers Connection can compete with Fnatic, as we've seen, does this just show they're not quite on par yet as, you know, a general collective of players? Because, you know, I looked at Fnatic then, you know, at any situation they can always kind of pull themselves back into it to an extent. They may not win overall, but they can still challenge, you know, at any point of the game, no matter how much they're losing. Whereas then I saw, you know, a couple of snipers in the mix. I saw some atrocious things coming out from Gamers Connection. Is that a lack of maybe experience kicking in? Is that Fnatic being that little bit ahead? Or is this just, you know, them losing a little bit of concentration and going, well, you know, screw it, we got the first map, let's look on to the third?
I kind of got a feeling it's something that definitely played it. Follow Jason, top hat Jason there, running with a support. Very rare to see, and maybe we're going to see a bit of extra. It's something different, something we don't see on a regular basis, because I generally do not see it. Yeah, well, I've seen it once or twice on this map, but not very often. But completely have not read Fnatic at all, and there's that slow push I'm talking about. They don't go for B, they spread out, and they just wait for picks and try and slow push that B flag.
And let's see if it works. At the moment, Drunks will be the one in the building, probably challenging down straight away. Xayah will pick him up, so already a nice little kill start for the French side, and Xayah pushing his way forward. No more of those impact grenades going to be hindering him there, so they can actually maintain this 2-1 for a little while, but I'm still not sold on the choices of, Jason there with that gun in hand. A little bit curious, and it looks like the other Jason has actually switched up. He's going to be with the M416, so one of the more favorite weapons of mine, I've got to say, but never has quite enough benefit, I feel, to kind of warrant its place in game. And let's consider our options here. Games Connection being on the US side now, they have to pretty much have the 2-1 hold throughout the entirety of the game. I'm not sure if they can do this, but they look as though they're going to try.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try here. And if they had a bit more success in the previous round, maybe it would have actually been something they could do. And just by any success defending B opens up that C flag for an easy capture, and that's, I think, going to happen here. Is that upper balcony is going to switch over to Fnatic control, and Unfix is going to push a C flag.
Yeah, let's bear in mind, Fnatic are in no rush. There's always, a slight niggling factor in the back of your mind, like, let's make sure we do okay here, guys. Let's not completely throw this one away. But they have over 114 ticket advantage here. That is massive. So they don't have to be too worried yet. It can get close. We've seen it before. Finally we are seeing the dent in Games Connections tickets down to 139, and this could go away this could fall very quickly. Bearing in mind, C, the only one being captured over the moment really in favor of the other side, has just been won out by Fnatic anyway. So this triple cap might actually last a little longer, as we're going to see another man trying to attempt to run the gauntlet against Unfixed. Those tickets are already looking dangerously low, and Unfixed is not the player I'd want to challenge out really, and that's as to why. Unfixed picks up Jason, drops him down, and says, thank you very much, I'll keep C, and leave the rest of my team to defend the other sides, because already 126 tickets is very close to the cutoff point here in the second map for Gamers Connection.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much done. Fnatic can just take this one at their leisure, and especially the way that GC are set up right now, they can't even hold any of these flags. So this one's over.
Yeah, and I think Gamers Connection know that. They are literally being led like lambs to the slaughter every time they go towards that B side. They are really getting nowhere. It's the only way to describe it. They're trying to go for an all-in. It is over. 114 tickets was passed. They are now down and out of this map. It's now time to look towards the final map. Now, I need to find out what that one is, to be honest with you guys. I'm not too sure. I was kind of, let's just say, hustling this studio together. It's been a little bit of a, one of those days, when nothing really works right. Do you ever have those days, guys? I think you do. I think you guys have had those days. I think Shanghai is going to be the final map between these two. But basically, the original studio we used yesterday has been packed down, changed up, and ready for one of our other events here at ESL. So I walked in, I was like, oh, everything's set up, I'm ready, did all the graphics. I was like, awesome, ready to go. Went to put on a headset. And funnily enough, none were there. So I had to swiftly kind of set the studio back up. So I do apologize if it's not the same kind of professional-looking, polished studio as before. But, we're getting good games nevertheless, which kind of makes up for it, I feel, at least. We saw some surprises yesterday, but I think if Gamers Connection can pull off a win against Fnatic, that'd be the perfect start to today. And, well, currently tied at 1-1, going down to Shanghai. Not sure how I feel about this map. It's... After seeing the two polars of both teams, the first map, Fnatic crumbled. They led away, a big lead there and a big advantage. But then again, Gamers Connection, you can't ignore what just happened on that final map or the previous map. They fell to pieces so damn quickly. It was unbelievable. I don't think I've seen a team crumble like that in a long time. That was, okay, we didn't get the start we wanted. Our plan is now out the window. What do we do? They looked as though they literally did not know how to play Battlefield after that moment. So, I don't know what to expect of them on here. Would you say this is a Fnatic map? Or, which sort of style does it suit? But then again, is there a style we can depend on when, really, we just saw a map that should suit Gamers Connection going completely to waste? For why they collapsed there, obviously the initial boost didn't do very well. And he did touch on something quite important, which is, the team don't expect to win the round or to win the map, therefore they kind of just start messing around. Yeah.
I think that might have played a bit of a part there. See Shanghai, who is it favour style-wise? I would say it probably doesn't favour anyone that much.
Yeah, it's not completely one-sided.
I think both teams probably feel slightly comfortable. I'd probably say Fnatic probably don't want this map, but they didn't want any of the others either. I mean, there is a lot of randomness in a way, and it's a lot more close quarter. But at the same time, you know, I think both teams, depending on the trades, could come out on top.
Well, we can wait and find out, and I think we are just about ready to get ourselves into game. So let me drop you guys in there so you can stop staring at me. And we should be able to start this one nice and quickly. So let's see what side we are seeing these guys on. On the Chinese side, I think it's going to be Fnatic. On the US side, I believe it's going to be Gamers Connection. And, well, your predictions, final game, title 1-1. Who's going to win it?
I'm always going to go with Fnatic. They've got Unfixed, who might be the best player in Battlefield 4 right now. I feel he does so well, and I think, along with the rest of the team, I don't think they're going to lose this one.
Well, let's find out, guys. And already from the very offset, we're going to stick on with the man that you've been hyping up. He's picked up a kill on towards Xayah straight away. And we are seeing the AB hold in Fnatic's hands. And, well, at the moment, Unfixed is just enjoying it. Polo's also gone down to his hands as well. He's currently probably the top fragger here for Fnatic.
Don't let me down.
He's really not. You hyped him up, and he's certainly living up to the reputation there. So a good couple of kills back-to-back. Defending B quite aggressively more than anything. I'm kind of surprised at that. But still, 2-1 hold from the very, very start. And it looks like it's not stopping anytime soon.
No, great start for Fnatic. Exactly what they wanted. Unfixed picking up 3 kills straight off the bat. And, you know, straight to the drawing board for GC. But they're not really pressuring this correctly, I feel. But there you go, 2 big kills from Zyx. And that's kind of what you need. That'll open up pressure onto B or A and keeps Fnatic guessing.
They also have to now come over the mountain that is Unfixed, who's already picked up Dizzy. GG, well played, who went for the push down the street. He finally goes down to Polar, but dear lord, that took some time, and it's already allowed a little bit of movement from the Fnatic guys to get themselves back to where they want. But smart play from Jason there, heading off early on towards A. So, Jason laying down some fire, but he doesn't actually catch over the side. Let's keep that in mind. He's not claimed it, finally does, but it took so long. Value got a little aggressive, switching up from that AEK, going back to the Ace 23 there. Ergo a muzzle on that bad boy, but still, he's not getting the kills he wanted, but it's bought a little bit of time. They know where they're at. Fnatic have swung around on the map, B and C in their hands. Very good start, but what now can Games Connection do? Because at the moment, it's looking like shooting fish in the barrel for Fnatic.
Well, they got the kill on Mort there. That opens up the B flag, so that's better for them. But yeah, they got to be very careful here. That's a massive lead already for Fnatic, and we've already seen what they do when they get a lead like this. And GC need to make something happen, make this game as crazy as possible. But right now, they're just playing straight into Fnatic's hands. They
certainly are. And B now left open for the taking. Fnatic won't turn that one down. Going to move in, pick it up. And as you can see, it's it's pretty much Games Connection hitting themselves in between a rock and a hard place. There's not too many options as to where to go here. You've seen the fire coming across. Fnatic play this great game, I feel, of being aggressive when necessary, but also being able to hold spots. They've finally kind of given up the ghost a little on that B side, but straight away there are players willing to defend. Drunks with the crossfire coming through. I think that's Unfixed getting a little bit caught out, but we're seeing such big players being positioned in this B flag. Why is that? Last time I think it was Marzu was here for Epsilon, one of the top players as well within the scene, and he did perfectly. And we're even seeing a triple cap coming out of this with 2 players still on A for Games Connection. This is so one-sided. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Trip kept seeing everything going Fnatic's way right now. They're pivoting on that B flag perfectly. As soon as they know that A might be overrun, they just switch back over, get the C capture, and that's what they'll keep doing. They're just going to keep pivoting on that B flag.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they're doing it very well. This is the balance between aggression and defense, and this is when I get to see Drunks running with my favorite weapon of his general selection. It's the AEK. He has he only has a standard iron sights on it. He doesn't run with any attachments towards that side, and I love seeing him work with that one. But it's looking a little bit dire now for Games Connection. They're just not getting on the board. Let's keep that in mind. They're struggling for kills, 16 to 31. Really not doing too good here. They've finally broken through in mid though, but look how many players they've had to commit down towards B. Jason has got himself over here, but straight away Fnatic are back on the cause. Mort down the side, 2 players through mid. They're splitting down towards A as well, so it's just a really smart bit of play here. Dragging as many people away from B as possible, bringing them back towards A, allowing Mort, allowing the other player to push in and claim it. So they pretty much turn it around and pick up a triple cap, and they're not even below 100 tickets yet. This is unreal play from Fnatic. For a team that may not even like this map on occasion, they kind of get pushed to their limits a little at times from teams of maybe a lower caliber. They've stepped the hell up here, and I'm a little surprised the Gamers Connection don't really have an answer to it.
Yeah, I think GC, the team, are just on field control on this map, and they're really getting pushed to it here. The spawns come in en masse at A, and finally they get the bleed on their side, but you kind of feel for how long is already Fnatic are attacking C. Fnatic's rotations are just being so much better. They're always one step ahead.
Well, I'm going to have to keep my eyes on Balutage right now. He's on 10-4. He's been doing clearly the best by quite some way. Stand-up player to my eyes, and let's see how he ends this one. Obviously, the Ergo muzzle break still in his hands. He's being pressured a little from the A push out coming in from Gamers Connection. And let's see if he can find any unfixed is there as well. Drunks finally gets kind of taken down, but the point is here, I've yet to really see an extended 2-to-1 hold in the hand of Gamers Connection throughout this entire game. It's been a constant barrage of pain, whether it be a triple cap or a 2-to-1, it's how it's gone. And well, Drunks finally goes down, but it's just been absolutely dire from Gamers Connection. It looks like that first map was a one-off almost for them. And, you know, I'm kind of surprised. I thought I'd get a little more out of them here, because they only have 20 tickets remaining. And Fnatic are saying, sod it, we'll just go for the pistols. I don't even need to, bring out my main gun. This is perfectly fine. What can Gamers Connection do here? We saw what happened on the second map. Is this just a done deal now?
It does really look it. I really don't know what to say. GC just don't seem to have the will to dig down deep and try something different. And Fnatic are just walking all over them right now. This is going to be a massive ticket lead for Fnatic. And I honestly do not see how GC can get back into this game.
You and me both. Every single player on Fnatic stepping the hell up. One player being positive, I believe, from Gamers Connection. Now, obviously, kills don't mean everything in this, not shot, but when it's this much of a disparity, it's pretty damn huge. 110 tickets now being dropped down a little bit, but being kind of maintained, is unbelievable. This is just, I don't know what to say has just happened to Gamers Connection. They're a team who looked so damn good, and now they've just fallen to pieces. Fnatic don't look like they're playing substantially better than they were on the first map, maybe a little bit more coordinated, but 109 tickets, that's unbelievable. I'm a little bit worried here.
Yeah, that was terrible. I don't know what to say. I mean, Fnatic really just started off strong and finished strong.
Look at these scores.
Yeah.
The worst player, let's say, or let's say the least fraggers out of Fnatic at the moment was Mort and Drunks. Two of the players who just kind of float around and do what they have to do when they do it. Drunks is literally a player unto his own at times. And then, too easy, 15-8. Unfixed 17-4, barely died throughout that game, let's bear in mind. And Valutaja, being the B kind of hop point for him, 13-4. And then the other side is just a little bit harsh, 6-6 for Jason, but that's it. I'm kind of thinking this game's already over and done with, and it kind of breaks my heart a little bit, because on the first map, it looked like Gamers Connection really had a bit of an edge. They picked it up. They beat Fnatic on Operation Locker. Now I'm wondering if that's just maybe Fnatic being a little bit too weak for their own good these days.
I think...
on that map, at least.
Yeah, I think especially the way that they bumbled their boost and just how Dawnbreaker went, they haven't really covered mentally. I mean, they did win 2 rounds in a row on Locker. I mean, that must have been a big morale boost for them, but they didn't recover when it went wrong. And I think that is the big thing. I think when it comes down to it, the experience that Fnatic have, when it goes wrong, they can recover. But when it goes wrong for other teams, sometimes it's just a bottomless pit.
Well, let's put it this way. All right, guys. 109 ticket disadvantage to the Gamers Connection side on the Chinese team. So if the team on the right side of your screens in the top right, Gamers Connection, drop below 109, it's going to be pretty much done and dusted. That is game over. That is Fnatic going through to the finals. So they have to play the perfect game from the very offset. What do they need to do here, Dog? But what is their main focus now coming to the start straight away?
They need to get this bleed immediately, but there you go. Fnatic have already had the breakthrough they needed, and they get straight onto the A flag. And, Fnatic just read GC so well and, made all their efforts count for nothing.
Yeah, and 2-1 hold. They cannot maintain this for too long. Nice work there from Drunks. Somehow controlling that recoil there. GG well played goes down. We are seeing a little bit of a skirmish going out on towards C. Mort there trying to just take his time, play it smart, drops in. I don't think he meant that, but he gets, I think, the exchange with Zaya, allowing the teammate to come in, get the revive, and that's the flag going their way. B just about staying in the hands of Gamers Connection. The French side are struggling. They haven't settled in. They've not maintained the 2-1. And I'm really, really surprised at the lack of resistance they've been able to show here.
Yeah, and Fnatic are just taking whatever flag they want, really. They're just going to keep this bleed ticking over, and I kind of feel that GC are kind of already giving up. I mean, Fnatic are just battering them right now.
Yeah, this is the Fnatic that, used to terrify teams as well, and if they're back to this form, then that's something to be worried about. And Unfixed challenging out now over towards that A side. He knows there's more players here. Fire has come in, but Too Easy doing the job that he can, supporting brilliantly for his teammate there, and Drunks now can be able to push off towards supporting B. So 122 tickets remain. Well, they only need to drop down below 109, so as we said, this game is near on over for the Gamers Connection boys. They've struggled in every map aside from one, and you can see it everywhere I want to go and watch these guys. They're just being picked up and dropped down. Once again, not a single player being positive out of them. They needed to make a move about 5 minutes ago. I don't know what to say. For a team that showed so much potential, they are falling apart, and they're falling to hands of the likes of Too Easy's on 6-3 already after 2 minutes into this game. And no matter what seems to happen for the Gamers Connection side, they just could not do it in time. 105 tickets is too low to turn it around, and there we have it. First game in the semifinals has gone to Fnatic here. They will be picking up the victory and moving on to the grand finals. Now, pretty much, the big question is, who's going to be joining them? Because, the other game, PKD against Infamous, if that was before I knew what happened in this tournament running up to this point, I'd say I'm not too sure. If PKD have looked good going through this, season so far and the previous one, they've been a strong team, picking up some good results. But now, I'm not sure what to think after those results coming in from even just the day one there, with Epsilon struggling against Infamous so drastically. It's what are you thinking on this one? Because this is certainly going to be an interesting game going into now. Yeah,
I think it probably still favors Infamous in a little way. I mean, they had a bit of a tougher road to it, but at the same time, you can never count out Planet Key. They've been a strong team for a while, and maybe it's their time to shine.
Well, we can only wait and see, as we will be obviously taking a very quick break before we get into that second semi-final. It will be between Planet Key Dynamics, as you just saw there in the bracket, up against Infamous. And let's bear in mind, Infamous have already taken down Epsilon in the quarterfinals, the team that previously made it through to the grand finals against Fnatic in Cup number 1. So there's certainly work to be done here. Infamous looking very strong, having to switch up a lot of their playstyle during the kind of changes in the weapon restrictions coming in, and even a couple of players looking a little bit different from prior. I need to obviously consolidate that and make sure they have made those lineup changes, I believe. But then again, Planet Key Dynamics by proxy did take down the team that actually beat Pyrogen, one of the strongest French sides earlier on in even the prior season. So there's a lot of kind of back and forth results that are even surprising me at the moment. This is only Cup number 2, let's bear in mind, in the summer season. We still have 2 other cups to come. But second semi-final, I think I'm going to give it to Infamous, but we need to go to that short break, and when we come back, we'll be getting ourselves ready for that one. So do stay tuned, maybe go make a cup of tea, but while you wait, maybe head over towards Twitter and get through to me and speak to myself with your predictions. Obviously, tweet at TheyCallMePansy, and I'll be able to see what you're saying there at home. And obviously, Dignitas Dogbert, my incredible co-caster as well, who's been giving you all the analysis the entire time. So guys, we'll be back in 5. Do stay tuned. We'll be back in a sec.